Ladies and gentlemen, it's a big, weird, wild world out there, folks, and here we stand. Al pie del cañón, ready for anything. I'm Rob, and you're listening to...
The Provo Show!
Hello, good people. Welcome. You're listening to The Provo Show. If you're one of our blessed podcast listeners, and there are more and more of you every single day, welcome. If those of you listening to the show are listening live, it's currently 8:30 a.m. Central European Time, 2:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. How are you doing out there, friends? Joining us live in the chat, we have Vero, Nessa, Jeffa, Pedro from Instagram. Oh my God, close the doors behind you guys. That's all the quality we can take. If you want to form our live audience, friends, it's very, very easy. All you have to do is go to twitch.tv/professional bohemian. twitch.tv/professional bohemian. You join us there, and you too can contribute to the show like the people I read out earlier. If you're a radio listener, then mistakenly Friday's show I said was going to come out on the radio. It's not. You know, actually, guys, if you're a radio listener, you've probably missed, I don't know, like 6 shows. As I keep on saying, this is aired on Vaughan, but it's not a Vaughan program. It's primarily a podcast that's made by me. So if you want to catch up on all the content you have missed, you should do that going to any good podcast directory, whether that be iTunes for you, or Podbean, or Stitcher, or Google Podcasts, wherever the hell you listen to your podcasts. Just search for The Provo Show and you'll find us there. And you can download all that amazing content you've been missing. Well, what's been going on this weekend, folks? Not much. Been a nice, relaxing weekend for me. But one thing I did do was thoroughly torture the elves to give us a A++ show today. In the second half of the show, I ask 100 humans to name something people do to help them stay awake when they're tired. Nombra algo que la gente haga para mantenerse despierta cuando está cansada.
¿Será posible? Vaya nivelazo.
Semi-nivelazo? I don't know, you guys tell me. Nombra algo que la gente haga para mantenerse despierta cuando está cansada. Name something people do to help them stay awake when they're tired. And also, in today's Complete the News, we'll look at why a teacher was arrested. It's a good one, guys. It's a good one. And if we have time, we'll get into more Complete the News, if we have time. Nivelazo from Vero. Thank you. Good morning, Min, joining us from the Netherlands. How are you doing, sir? All right. But all that fun, friends, in the second half of the show. In the first half, we have an unpopular opinion. Ooh, and it is a good one. It's juicy. Do you remember last year I did the unpopular opinion that was nothing happens for a reason? And I think I actually won that one. Well, today we're doing everything happens for a reason. But how can you be so psychotic that you argue against yourself from previous episodes? Because not everything in life is black and white, guys, as we discovered on Friday's show. And there is a ton of evidence to suggest that everything does happen for a reason. We'll get into that in the second half of the show. But right now, guys, I'm here, you're here. Let's look at what's going on in the world. Oh, first thing, just a quick mention. The heat dome is over. La cupola térmica, the heat dome, the Dutch oven that Europe has been living under. Well, Portugal, Spain, and France. It's over, guys. It's a beautiful 16 degrees in Madrid. If you're an international listener, and I know many of you are, over 50%, we've been suffering. We've been suffering here in Europe a massive heat wave. Oh my God. Hang on, wait. Vero's giving me a word here, and it's going to take my British mouth a little bit to get through. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, indeed. Oh, it's so nice to walk the dogs this morning and not be sweating at 8:30 in the morning. It's currently 16 degrees. You know, it was like 27 degrees at 8:30 a.m., man. That's not... Only lizards feel good about that kind of temperature. Only lizards feel that way about 27 degrees at 9 a.m. So no more 40-degree temperatures, at least for the next couple of days, so we've got a nice break. Okay, let's dive into some news. I've got some entertainment news, some news on, I guess you'd call it ecology, maybe. Yeah, well, tech news, and some news to make Europeans feel a little proud of the European Union. Let's get into it. Okay, so in entertainment news, we're going to deadline.com to find out that Barbie, it's incredible. If you haven't seen the Barbie movie yet, I haven't. Izzy and I, we have it on the cards to go and see at some point. I'm just not sure if it's a cinema movie. Do you know what I mean? As a 45-year-old male going to see a film about a plastic doll, like it's a toy, this kind of makes me feel a bit. It makes me ask questions about myself when I'm in the line in the cinema to see that movie. Do I have that Kennedy? You can tell me. So Barbie is becoming Warner Brothers' biggest film ever. Yeah. Let's let that sink in. Barbie is becoming Warner Brothers' biggest film ever. And Oppenheimer, which is an amazing movie, by the way. We went to see that last week. Great film. Oppenheimer nears $800 million in the box office. It's close to $1 billion movie. So Barbie se convierte en la película más taquillera de Warner Brothers. Interesting stuff. So Greta Gerwig's Barbie is set to become the highest grossing Warner Brothers movie globally, with a current worldwide estimate of $1.34 billion. And that's just $1 million away from surpassing Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, which was the finale of the Harry Potter franchise. Unbelievable achievement. Well done. Well done, Greta Gerwig. Well done, Warner Brothers. Well done, all the actors from that. I can't remember the names now. The Australian actress who plays Barbie, I can't remember her name. I actually saw her interviewed on a Hot Ones interview. And I have to say, she didn't represent herself very well. God, what was it? What's her name? Can you remember? No, I can't remember either. Jeez Louise, that's gonna bother me. Should we kick the elves? Barbie actors. Give me the Barbie actors elves right now. Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling. Thank God. Okay. So yeah, I saw Margot Robbie interviewed on Hot Ones. Margot Robbie. Everyone's saying Margot Robbie. You know what, guys?
That gets the provost stamp of approval.
Thank you for helping my dumb brain. Thank you, Vera. Thank you, Urs. Nessa, yes, I was starting to feel ill in that heat. Yeah, me too, Nessa. It's not good for my my British constitution. So yeah, well done to everyone involved. A film that's caused way more controversy than I think it needs to. Oh my God, this film is pushing the feminist agenda. This is where I get accused on Twitter of being a globalist again, right? You know, if you're out there crying about Barbie being the highest grossing film ever for Warner Brothers, please bottle your tears, send them to me, because your tears, they are delicious, and your anger only makes me more powerful. Yes. It's a fact, my friends. Okay, let's move on from entertainment news and let's take a look at the planet Earth. As you've known, I've said this various times in the past, I will drive a car when electric cars are more of a thing. And it looks like we're on the verge of that being a reality. Look at this. In China, it is already cheaper to buy an electric vehicle than gasoline cars. Oh, China. China, as Donald Trump would say. Yeah, crazy. But en China, yes, más barato comprar would you say UVE, an electric vehicle? It's already cheaper to buy an electric vehicle que un coche de gasolina. In China, electric vehicles are becoming more affordable than gasoline cars, driven by aggressive pricing wars, particularly initiated by Tesla. As a result of this fierce competition, 7 of the top 10 best-selling cars in China in June were plug-in models. Oh, modelos enchufables? Plug-in models? I don't know how you would say that. So, wow, interesting news. And you know, if this is happening in China, it is the start of a ball rolling, making electric vehicles cheaper in the future for everything. Or for everybody. That includes like the cost of buying batteries and everything. This is an article by the Washington Post, by the way. How are you doing, Con? Joining us all the way from South Africa. Let's see. What is it with this movie, says Nessa? It's just great marketing, or is it something really great, or is there something really great about it? Pedro says, I saw Barbie recently. It's pretty much okay, but far from being worthy of all the hype. Ooh, interesting. Great marketing, says Pedro. It's great marketing, all the furor. Do you think Ben Shapiro, when he was burning Barbie models, he knew he was contributing to the Streisand effect? Do you guys know what the Streisand effect is? Do you know, audience, real life audience, do you know what the Streisand effect is? No? Okay, so the Streisand effect, it came from something. I think it was a photographer who published a photo of Barbra Streisand's house, or someone shared something with relation to Barbra Streisand. And Barbra Streisand was furious and said, no. And because of her objection to the thing that was published, it drew a lot of attention to it. So Ben Shapiro and all you guys who were arguing that the Barbie movie is so bad, all you did was make it Warner Brothers' biggest movie of all time. Congratulations to you. Hey, congratulations, Ben Shapiro. You're a feminist icon. Yes. Oh, so there you go. Yeah. But electric vehicles becoming the most affordable model of car in China. I think that's amazing. Oof, I had some really great news, and I'm not sure we're going to have time for it. We're going to talk about it anyway. So I have two news stories here that are contrasting. We're going to start with one, and we're going to finish with another. So this is a news story from the Washington Post. Hang on a second. Nessa says, electric cars don't convince me. Those batteries are going to be so hard to recycle. Good for the environment totally, but terrible for tomorrow. Give me hydrogen-powered cars instead, and cheaper too.
That gets the Provost stamp of approval.
Quite a lot of truth in that statement, friends. Hydrogen cars could be the actual solution. Let's see how all this pans out in the future. Eh? It'll be interesting. Ben Shapiro worried too much about Barbie while he admitted he can't get his wife wet. Need I say more? I'm not going to translate for the Spanish people. You can deal with that for yourselves. Vero says, I've seen both movies, Barbies and Oppenheimer. I like them. The bad thing is that Oppenheimer me hace larga. It felt long to Vero. It is a long movie, but I have to say, when we went to see it, when we both left, neither of us said, oof, that was a long film. I was kind of engaged the whole way through. I could see, though, people feeling the length of the movie, because it is very long, yeah. Okay, so here we go. Two contrasting news stories. First one I believe by the Washington Post as well. Facebook and YouTube are stepping back from their roles as gatekeepers against political misinformation. What does that mean? First of all, how would you say gatekeeper in Spanish? Portero, maybe? The people who guard against political misinformation. Well, Facebook and YouTube are stepping back from that role. They're saying, well, if there is going to be political misinformation, it's not our job to police that. They're reducing their efforts to combat online falsehoods, a move that could significantly impact the 2024 presidential election. Interesting. So in the States, some of the big tech companies are saying, no, you know what? This is too much effort. The Washington Post says, and I think quite unfairly, says, following Elon Musk's lead, big tech is surrendering to disinformation. I don't think it's fair to say this is Elon Musk's initiative, if I'm quite honest. Siguiendo el ejemplo de Elon Musk, las empresas de grandes tecnologías, like big tech companies, se rinden a la desinformación. And it goes out to outline certain things that the big tech companies are doing to kind of step back from policing misinformation. And on the other side of that, this piece of news coming from techexplore.com. This is one of the reasons why I think Europe is on the forefront of policing technology. And for me personally, I think that's a wonderful thing. You may have a different opinion. Europe is cracking down on big tech. This is what will change when you sign on. So this article is talking about the initiation, the beginning of Europe's Digital Services Act. Starting from Friday, significant changes will be implemented in the online experience of Europeans due to the introduction of the EU Digital Services Act. This groundbreaking set of regulations targets big tech companies primarily based in the US to enhance user privacy, transparency, and the removal of harmful and illegal content. Now, if you spend as much time online as I do, you've already received messages. Would you like to turn off AI recommendations? And for me, across the board, it was yes. Because what YouTube will do, it will take your previous browsing history and then include results relevant in your search history. And I don't want that. I don't want to be led down rabbit holes by big tech companies, by YouTube, by Facebook. I don't want to be brainwashed by my own stupid searching habits. So I've turned them off across the board. And I would suggest, my friends, that you guys do the same. More of our privacy protected thanks to the EU. Do I sound like an EU apologist? Maybe I am. Who knows? But Rob, you're British. Didn't you just leave Europe? Huh? Don't make me responsible for Boris Johnson or Nigel Farage. They're not my people. I'm a man of Europe. Let's see what people are saying. It's very difficult and expensive to produce mass amounts of green hydrogen, but I support the initiative as someone from the industry. It will come eventually, but we're not quite there yet, says Pedro. Dropping some insider information, because Pedro actually does work in this industry.
That gets the Probo stamp of approval.
Our legal correspondent, Pedro from Instagram. Let's see, let's continue. Min, how the hell is that linked to Musk, says Min. Yeah, I know, the Washington Post, right? Not doing wonders for their own balanced, level-headed reporting there when they jump on a bandwagon to persecute a man that's... I mean, literally, you could leave Elon Musk in a room on his own and he will make himself look like an idiot. Washington Post, you don't need to help him, right? And all these kind of salacious headlines do is make me trust you less, okay, as a fairly balanced, level-headed individual. So there you go. Be warned, Washington Post. The Probo Show is watching. Wow, Rob, you're on fire. Nivelazo, thank you.
¿Será posible? Vaya nivelazo.
Half of that Nivelazo goes to my translation elf, who's now rubbing his body in pain as I've been kicking him so much under the table through the show. It's just cheaper not to have to spend resources to track fake news. I think it's hard to be against the EU in the field of tech and the restrictions being applied unless you're anti-regulations overall. Yeah, it's hard to argue against the EU being on the forefront of a lot of these predatory practices by companies. You know, even dating back from them forcing Apple to add USB-C chargers so you don't have to spend an exorbitant amount of cash on Apple original technology. I just think that's just predatory. And finally, Con says, you should know by now, if you choose to read the newspapers, then you must question everything. Why should it be their job to filter everything? Oh, nice.
That gets the Probo stamp of approval.
Coming from Corporate Alligator. Okay, guys, we've run a little over time. Let's get to today's unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
So what is an unpopular opinion? It's a brain fart, un pedo cerebral, un pedo mental. I share it with you on my social media, and then you guys here, you make the actual decisions. So let's see. Today's unpopular opinion is everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. I made that statement on Instagram, and they said 54% true. I would call that inconclusive. You've heard me argue in the past, unless it's over 5%, unless it's 55% or over, inconclusive. So inconclusive, let's see if we can come to an actual decision right here. In the past, I have done an episode that nothing happens for a reason. Today, I'm going to take the opposite stance and see what you guys think. First of all, again, I did torture those poor elves to give me some pros and cons. Let's look at those right now. In the pro argument, arguments in favor of everything happening for a reason. Number one, believing that there's a reason behind every event can provide comfort during tough times. It gives a sense of purpose to life's challenges, suggesting that even adversity leads to growth or a predestined outcome. This viewpoint can help individuals see a broader narrative of purpose in their lives, making experiences more meaningful. If one believes that everything happens for a reason or lesson behind it, it can lead to introspection, growth, and personal development. And finally, by accepting that there's a reason, even if it's unknown, individuals might find it easier to move forward after setbacks. In the con column, disagreeing with the statement that saying nothing happens for a reason. Probably if you listen back to the other show from last year, I'll cover a lot of these. So here we go. This belief can potentially lead to complacency. If one thinks that everything is preordained, they might not take active steps to change or improve their situation. It could make someone feel that they deserved a negative event due to karma or some past action, which might not be the case. Next, some events in life can be purely coincidental or random, and trying to find a deeper meaning might not always be appropriate or beneficial. Interesting. And finally, in the con column, responsibility. If we attribute all happenings to fate or destiny, it might diminish personal or collective responsibility for actions or events. Okay, thank you, elves, but not conclusive for me. Why does everything happen for a reason, guys? I'm not going to tell you about fate. I don't believe in fate. Not going to tell you about karma. Don't believe in karma. Not going to tell you about God or religion or religious beliefs, because I don't believe in it. I am, as you would say, a non-believer. But what I will tell you about is causality. The scientific principle of cause and effect. Newton's third law, I believe. The law of action and reaction. For every action or force in nature, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Newton's third law. I did pull a little bit from Wikipedia here. Causality, also known as causation or cause and effect, is the influence by which one event, process, state, or object contributes to the production of another event. Quite literally, guys, everything that happens to you in your life has happened because something happened before it. There is a reason for everything. It may not make sense to you. You may never find out that reason. But, life is like dominoes, cascading, falling, one on top of the other. To think that randomness happens and there's no kind of causal impetus to any event is just ridiculous. The world doesn't work like that. There may not be a spiritual reason why everything happens, but everything does physically happen for another reason. Things don't just spark out into existence. Everything happens for a reason, and scientifically, I think that is a truth that is unarguable. Even though I did it last year, I don't think you can argue with the fact that everything actually does happen for a reason. Cause and effect, Newton's third law of action and reaction. It's been something you were taught in primary school science. So how can you forget it? Or even worse, how can you embrace the idea of spiritualism or some kind of external force in the universe guiding you, or predeterminism, when science has explained quite eloquently in the past why everything happens for a reason? It's not because of God or some kind of karmic force in the universe. It's because everything happens for a reason. We live in a chain of dominoes, my friends. We live in a chain of dominoes. Let's see what people in the chat are saying right here. Let's see. I don't want to be led by AI or humans. Do we need to be told what to think or do? No, we do not, Nessa. Let's see. Define what you mean by reason. Disagreeing doesn't mean nothing happens for a reason, just not everything happens for a reason. I mean, everything does happen for a reason. If I get cancer tomorrow, it's not because God is punishing me for some prior action. It's because I smoke a ton of cigarettes every day. You know what I mean? You know, if COVID strikes and Donald Trump gets COVID, which actually did happen, it's not because, you know, he's being judged by a vindictive God. It's because he spent too much time in public without wearing a mask. Everything happens for a reason. And we want to, you know, arguing that nothing happens for a reason and that the world is just chaos is absolving yourself of your own responsibility for the things that happen to you. And I don't agree with that. 9 times out of 10, you know, we have some responsibility, or some external factor to us has led to that thing happening. Because everything happens for a reason. Things don't just spark out of existence. You know, if you get hit by a car tomorrow, might be your fault, might not. Maybe the driver is drunk, distracted by their mobile phone. Still a reason, my friends. Still a reason why that horrible thing happened. Doesn't necessarily discard the chaotic nature of the universe, and is certainly not arguing in favor of religion or karma or fate. But scientifically, everything happens for a reason, guys. That's all I've got time for the first part of the show. I will post a poll in the chat, and you will tell me everything happens for a reason, true or false. Lots of messages in the chat. We'll get back to those in a second, guys. So many things you could have been doing today. Instead of doing those things, you took the time to spend some time with me, and it means the world. See you soon. Hey guys, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so on Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. There you'll find VODs of the episodes as they are recorded live, blogs, vlogs, and behind-the-scenes content. If you'd like to watch the show live, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can participate in the polls we use in the show on Instagram @professional bohemian or Twitter @probo, PROBOH. Okay, on with the show.
The Promo Show!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. You're tuned in to the Probo Show. It's currently 9 a.m. Central European Time, 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. How are you doing out there, friends? Okay, so if you just tuned in, we looked at quite a bit of news. We looked at Barbie becoming Warner Brothers' biggest film ever. It was just $1 million away from surpassing Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Which is pretty, it looks pretty likely that it will do. You know what I mean? It's going to easily garner another million. It's going to garner $1 million when I go and see it. However I see it. Anyway, and then we looked at some news from China that buying electric vehicles is cheaper in China than buying a gasoline-powered vehicle. Incredible. Incredible. This is certainly the sign of things to come. Now, I know, it is more polluting to produce an electric car. We cause more pollution in the production of an electric car. There are things to be said about the mining of the elements that go into making the batteries and the chips and things that go into the electric car that are kind of predatory upon the poorest populations in the world. I'm not disagreeing with that. But one thing you can't disagree with, that over the life of an electric car, you pollute less. And even more true will that be when we rely more and more on renewable energy as a society. So there you go. I mean, those are two facts. One, that they cause more pollution in the creation. One, that in the mining of the elements used to make electric cars, we rely on the poorest in society and the conditions are terrible. That's true. But it's also true that over the life of an electric vehicle, it produces less pollution. And as we rely more and more on renewable energies, it becomes even more efficient and even causes even less pollution. True story. Both things can be true. And then we finally looked at how big tech in the US is kind of surrendering. Rinden. It's with the big tech companies like Facebook, YouTube, Google are surrendering to disinformation on their platforms, and how conversely here in Europe is cracking down with massive fines and legislation against companies like TikTok, ByteDance, the name of the company, or Meta's Instagram and Facebook, Google, Amazon, how Europe is cracking down on misinformation and privacy infringements. And how it's, it's sad that these are two opposite sides of the same coin, what's happening in the US and what's happening here. Hopefully they can take our lead on that and ensure American citizens have more privacy in the future. And then we moved on to today's unpopular opinion, friends. But was it unpopular? We'll find out soon. I've got a smile on my face. Everything happens for a reason. Okay, I'm going to start off by reading some comments I got on Instagram with regards to this. Rosa says, it's Rosa or Rosa, I don't know if you're a native English speaker or a Spaniard. In my years, I've seen that events often lead to unexpected lessons or outcomes, so I tend to think everything does happen for a reason, even if it's just to teach us something. Derek, causality, sure. If we're talking about destiny or some grand design, I need more evidence. Stuff happens sometimes because it just does. Okay, interesting. And Leo, or Leo, if you're a native. Man, I don't know. I just play my tunes and go where life takes me. Sometimes things are random, but sometimes I feel like there's a beat, a rhythm to life. All right, Leo. Put down the recreational substances for just a second. Yeah, man. Everything happens for a reason, man. Hey, Leo, love you, man. I love you. Nothing but love for you. You hungry? You want some Doritos? Doritos would be good. Also, Nessa said on Instagram, I think life happens, full stop. Great. And Vero, who's joining us in the chat right now, says, universe and nature are really wise. Everything and everyone plays a very important role in other people's destiny. As Mr. Freddie Mercury says, fat bottom girls make the rocking world go round.
That gets the Provo stamp of approval.
Yes. True story. Never a truer thing said. Freddie Mercury knew his stuff, man. Okay, let's take a little dive into the chat and see what you guys are saying. Pedro says, I think it's impossible to find causality in everything, but turning our life events into something with a meaning and purpose, even if it's just about learning to accept reality, is definitely an important milestone in life. So basically, it's not about finding a reason, but about acceptance. Yeah, wise words. Wise words. Yeah, quite often it's irrelevant, and I think this is kind of the conclusion we came to the last time we spoke about this subject, even though it was from the other side of the fence. It's not about if things happen for a reason or not. It's about accepting the fact that you're not in control of everything in life. You can't be in control of everything in life, whether that's because of the random nature of our existence, or because other people make decisions that might be erroneous to you. Either way, you have a lot more mental peace if you can just learn to accept. And that's just happened just because. That's the key to happiness as far as I'm concerned. Acceptance. If you mean, Pedro continues, if you mean physically, then of course everything happens for a reason. True story. Nessa, for me, life just happens, full stop, though causes are consequence of our actions. Quite often, yes. I'd say everything has a reason. It's just not that most reasons are mundane it's just that most reasons are mundane and uninteresting reasons. True story. So Min there, he says, yo diría que todo tiene una razón, solo que la mayoría de las razones son mundanas, would you say? Mundane? Y poco interesantes.
¿Será posible? Vaya nivelazo.
Thank you, translation elf. So everything does happen for a reason. He's quite right. Everything does, but just most of the reasons are so uninteresting and mundane that most of we need to like, we are the only creatures in the universe that have the arrogance to believe that the universe were created for us. Does that not blow your mind? You don't have elephants walking around saying, God made this for me. We are so irrational. Okay, let's continue. Unfortunately, no worries, Pedro. Thank you for coming. Let's see. Corporate alligator. I have believed this for a long time, but I just recently had an insight into this idea. Everything does happen for a reason, but the reason isn't given. It's not something set in stone, preordained, or something that the universe, God, or whatever tries to impose on us. Everything happens for a reason, and the reason is up to us to decide. This is an exercise of our free will and our creative power, like creating meaning in a universe that doesn't have intrinsic meaning. Human beings are said to be created in the image and the likeness of the Creator, and this is because we are creators too. We have the power to create inside us, albeit to a lesser degree, of course. This way, we can turn even the most horrific tragedies into catalysts for great, positive, constructive change, and some of us have done. Wow.
That gets the Provo stamp of approval.
Beautiful words there by Corporate Alligator joining us in the audience. Wonderful, wonderful. Do you know the results of the last time? I don't, but I can dig them out. I will. Nessa says, the thing is, for me, it depends on how you interpret the question. If you're asking if things happen because there's higher being that dedicates our destiny, I would say false. If we're talking about our decisions dictating our future, definitely true. Okay, so I made the statement that everything happens for a reason. What did our audience say? Friends, we got a conclusive answer. 71% true. I did it. And I think it was around 71% true when I said nothing happens for a reason. But these are important debates to have, right? These are important debates to have. I think to close today, I'd like to circle back to Pedro, Min, and Corporate Alligator. It's true. I don't believe there is anything. I don't believe in destiny. I don't believe in fate. But I do believe in us, you know? And how we are able to create our, I wouldn't go as far as Corporate Alligator to say create our own reasons, but we certainly have the power for every negative thing that happens to us. And I would even argue that a negative thing happening to us is quite subjective. For everything that happens to us, to take out the most positive of it, to take every challenge and every hurdle and turn it into a positive force for change. We have that within our hands. Now, it's difficult. It's difficult because we live in a world of extreme tragedy, right? But it's up to us to turn that into something positive and not fight against the tide, not to be salmon swimming against the tide, not to try and force the world to fit inside of our own box, but to accept the fact that, you know, even though everything happens for a reason, that reason might be unknown to us and it doesn't matter. That's fine. Whether it be someone else's decision making or just some kind of unseen hand that has forced us into a certain situation. You just accept that that is the way things are, to have respect for the world we live in and the people that we share our time and space with, and say, yeah, well, that is where it is. Let's continue. All right, guys, let's move on to today's 100 Humans. I don't know. It just fills me with with little joy to know that we can think both things are true. It might be a good unpopular opinion in the future to do. Two opposing things can be true at the same time, because we've proved that to be true several times on the show. Sorry, no worries, Nessa. See you later. All right, so here we go. It was a long walk to work today, friends, across snow-capped mountains and through river valleys. And on that walk, I encountered 100 humans. And I asked them all a question. Today's question was, name something people do to help them stay awake when they are tired. Name something people do to help them stay awake when they are tired. Nombra algo que la gente haga para mantenerse despierta cuando está cansado. Cansada. Uf.
¿Será posible? Vaya nivelazo.
That was for the auto-correction. I asked them that question. They gave me their answers. I have the top 7 answers here. Your job in the chat is to identify those top 7 answers. Okay, so here we go. Name something people do to stay awake when they are tired. Okay, Rafelka and Min say drink coffee or tea. To drink coffee or tea. Name something that people do to make them stay awake when they're tired. Drink coffee or tea. Is it there? Of course it's there. Well done, Min, and later Rafelka. Drink coffee or tea is there. Drink coffee. 61 of 100 humans said drink coffee. It's the number one answer. Well done. Well done. Okay, so you've started at number one. You've set a high bar, my friends. Vero says drink a Coke. Drink a soft drink or a soda, as you might say in the States. Or a refresco here in Spanish. Ooh, I'm on fire. Drink a Coke. Is it there? Drink soda. Is it there? Yes, it is, Vero. Well done. It's the seventh most popular answer, with 3 of 100 humans saying to drink a soda. Well done. Corporate Alligator says energy drinks. Let's put that under the soda umbrella. Well done, Corporate Alligator. Slap their face, says Urs. Number one answer. You know, I'm not going to drink a coffee. I'm just going to slap myself a little bit. If you're out there and you've quit coffee, there you go. That's what you have to do every morning. Just slap yourself as hard as you can. Is slap your face there? No, it's not there. Hey, I'm laughing, but we've all been in that situation where we're tired and we've given ourselves a little slap on the face to stay awake. It's not there, but it was a great answer. Okay, Corporate Alligator says, listen to heavy music. Or Min also says to have some energetic music playing. Is listen to music there? You know what? I'm going to give it to you. Yeah, why not? Not the most common way we listen to music, but the 100 humans said listen to the radio. And listen to the radio is there. It's the fifth most popular answer, with 5 of 100 humans saying listen to the radio. All right, here we go. Chew gum, says Ors. Chew gum. Chicle, gum. Or, what do we call it in England? I can't remember now. Chewing gum. Yeah, okay. Chew gum. Is it there? No, it's not. Another great answer, Urs, but it's not there. Lowering the temperature of the room or the car if you're driving, says Rafelka. Lower the temperature. Rafelka, you're a genius. It's there. Dude, how did people not guess that? Especially the amount of people in the chat right now in Europe. Yeah. If you're feeling tired, could be because of the heat. Get cool air. Aire fria. Or frio. Frio. Okay, all right. Oh, whatever. I'm not perfect. Get cool air is there. It's the 4th most popular answer, with 6 of 100 humans saying get cool air. Let's see. Corporate Alligator says to take a shower. Oh, great answer. Take a cold shower. Is it there, though? No, it's not. Guys, you only have 3 of the answers to get. Or 3 of the answers to get. But humans fall asleep the quickest and sleep the best in slightly cool rooms, says Min. Oh, yeah, but if you're feeling really tired, it can be because of the heat, Min. Oh, come on. All right, let me give you some clues. Okay, we'll start at number 6. You know, maybe you're lacking energy because you haven't fueled your body. You know, we've spoken about drinking, but there's another thing that you could do to give your body extra energy. What am I talking about? What do you think? What do you think? What am I talking about? Ooh, the chat has gone quiet. So other than drinking, there's something else that you can do to fuel your body with energy. Probably the most traditional thing you can do. And that is answer number 6. I can't believe nobody's getting this. My live audience here joining me in the studio knows the answer. And they say to eat. Right? Yeah? Is it there? Of course it is. That one goes to easy. Well done. Okay, in position number 3. Okay, there's something you can do to give yourself energy. You know? A lot of people will go to, specialized eating, says Corporate Alligator. You were there, just a little late, but you were there. Okay. There's something else you can do to give yourself some energy when you're feeling down and you're feeling like, you can't move. There's something you can do to elevate your body, to have so it releases some adrenaline. It's not cocaine, man. Although you are kind of close to the second answer. So, you want those endorphins running through your body. What do you do? What's the easiest thing you can do to have your body release these endorphins and adrenaline into your body? What would you do? Even Oz is saying sniff drugs. You know what? I'm gonna give you and Min that. Well done. Okay. The second most popular answer is to take a pill. You know, you get these caffeine pills and things. Second most popular answer is to take a pill. The third, it's not masturbate and it's not scream. Sorry, Min and Ors. What's something you can do? Not only will it give you a better physique over time. It'll give you a better physique over time, but it's something you can do just to increase your body's energy levels. I can't believe you're saying cocaine, masturbate, and scream, and none of you are saying exercise, guys. Well, Min said it there right as I pressed the button. Well done. Exercise. Third most popular answer. Okay, let's take a look at the list. All right, I asked 100 humans today to name something people do to help them stay awake when they're tired. Nombra algo que la gente haga para mantenerse despierta cuando está cansada. Okay, here we go. In position number 7 is to drink a soda, Coca-Cola or something. Usually they have caffeine in them. To drink a soda. In position number 6, to eat. You know, maybe you're low on energy because you haven't fueled your body with all those carbohydrates, quick burning energy. Eat something. In position number 5, we have listen to the radio. Listen to music, or maybe you're just going to listen to someone talking like me. Listen to the radio. In position number... We did 5, right? 4. Thank you, elves. Thank you. In position number 4, we have to get cool air. To turn the air conditioning on. Get cool air. In position number 3, we had, with 6 of 100 humans saying this one, exercise. You know, exercise. You'll overall increase your energy. In position number 2 was take a pill. You know, you didn't exactly guess that one, but I gave it to you anyway. That was with 7 of 100 humans saying that one. And by far, the most popular answer was answer number 1. It was drink a coffee, with 61 of the 100 humans saying that one. Well done to Min and Rafa. All right, well done, guys. Some funny answers. Min says masturbation is minimalist exercise. Hey, elves, don't encourage him. Don't encourage his bad behavior. Okay, let's go to complete the news.
Complete the news.
Oh my God, guys. All right, for those of you watching, this is the most interactive section of the show. I'm going to give you a news headline, un titular. Your job in the chat is to identify the information that I leave out. So I'm going to give you a news headline with some information missing. If you're one of the people that are watching the show but aren't interacting, this is your moment, because all you have to write is A, B, or C. Okay, here we go. We're going to start off, as I promised, with a teacher. Okay, so a teacher was arrested. And then detenido un profesor. A teacher was arrested after being pulled from her classroom with blank. Detenido un profesor tras ser sacado de clase con blank. Oh, God, I'm killing it today.
¿Será posible? Vaya nivelazo.
I might have to get a new translation, Elf. I think this one's nearly dead. So, a teacher arrested after being pulled from a classroom with blank. Is it A, a loaded gun? A loaded... Ah, you're not laughing now. A loaded gun, A. B, a lit marijuana cigarette. Or C, a cup full of wine. Teacher arrested after being pulled from a classroom with blank. Is it A, a loaded gun, B, a lit marijuana cigarette, more commonly known as a joint in everyday parlance, or C, a cup full of wine? Wow, there's a three-way tie in the chat so far. So what do you think? A teacher detenido un profesor tras ser sacado de clase con blank. What is it? Is it A, a loaded gun, B, a lit marijuana cigarette, or C, a cup full of wine? A, B, or C? What do you think? It's a three-way tie. I'm going to turn to our live audience. What do you think? A, B, or C? 1, 2, or 3? Number 1, you think a loaded gun. All right. So a loaded gun. Shall we see? Okay. Teacher arrested after being pulled from a classroom with... The answer is C, a cup full of wine. Give her a break. Man, I would be on much stronger substances if I had to teach kids. Oh my God. So here we go. This is a real piece of news coming from the TorontoSun.com, Canada. An elementary school teacher in Oklahoma was arrested on the first day of school for allegedly being drunk in the classroom. A grade 3 teacher was pulled out of her class by staff and questioned by the school's superintendent and resource officer. She initially denied drinking, but later confessed to consuming half a box of wine at 3 a.m. that day. My God. Are you sure she wasn't Irish? Can we look into a genealogy? All right, so that was complete the news number 1. I think we have time for another one. Yeah, let's do another one real quick. Okay, here we go. An Iranian realtor. Realtor is agente inmobiliario. Okay, so an Iranian realtor arrested for selling an apartment to blank. An Iranian realtor, so un detenido un agente inmobiliario iraní por vender un apartamento a blank. Iranian realtor arrested for selling an apartment to blank. Is it A, an unmarried woman? How dare you? B, a dog? Or C, an autonomous artificial intelligent agent? An autonomous AI agent. Woo! What do you think? A, B, or C? An Iranian realtor arrested for selling an apartment to blank. Is it A, an unmarried woman, B, a dog, or C, an autonomous AI agent? A, B, or C? Min says, a dog deserves a good place to live. Agreed. But did it buy a house? A, B, or C? We've got A seems to be in the lead right now. An unmarried woman. Que mal pensado sois. Madre mía. Come on. Okay, I think you guys are settling on A. Let's see if that's the correct answer. Although the bridge says it's probably C, but I'm going to say A. She thinks maybe an AI bought a house. All right, so here we go. An Iranian realtor arrested for selling an apartment to... The answer was B, a dog. Sorry. So yeah, this comes from the Jerusalem Post. It reports on a controversial real estate transaction in Iran where an apartment was sold to a dog named Chester. The incident, which was captured in a viral video, led to the arrest of the realtor involved and shut down his company by Iranian authorities. The sale was criticized for having no legal basis and attempting to normalize the violation of society's moral values. While dog ownership is not illegal in Iran, it is generally frowned upon due to traditional Islamic views that consider dogs to be unclean animals. They are, but I love them anyway. All right, friends, that's all we've got time for in today's show. Thank you for contributing to the highlight of my day every single day. I'll be back tomorrow with more Probo Show fun. Guys, so many things you could have been doing this morning. Instead of doing those things, you took the time to spend some time with me, and it means the world. I'll see you next time.